and you have a gift that only you can give. If you're here, it's probably to do with photography, expression, beauty, art, something. Own it. Make it your purpose.
Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Photography Radio. My name is Tomasz, and today you are listening to The Woo with Karen Hutton, where she muses up a tasty blend of inspiration, photography, and life. Enjoy.
Can you imagine your life without photography? No? Then you will love this show. And it doesn't matter if you're a DSLR, a mirrorless, or a mobile phone shooter. We're here to help your photography grow. This is Photography Radio.
Welcome to The Woo. I'm Karen Hutton, and today we're talking about the gift of purpose. Now, I talk a lot about finding your voice in photography. In fact, it's really been a driving force in just about all of my teaching, writing, speaking, and photographing all my life, but over the past few years in particular. I talk about figuring out what you love so much it hurts, focusing only on that, building on that, letting that define you and define every decision you make in photography and in life. Doing all of this is just a slice of what I feel my purpose is in this life. It actually ties into an even bigger vision. And having a purpose, both the immediate and the bigger vision, it shapes and defines why I bother to say or create anything, and puts it within my own personal narrative. So let's take a thread of that and look at what the idea of purpose does to your photography. When you focus on what you love most, which at any given point can include a number of different themes, subject matters, places, people, topics, it becomes your story. It becomes a narrative of your life, if you will. If you use each one in your photography, it becomes an exploration. It's thoughtful, done with focus and specificity, with curiosity and love and creativity. If you approach every frame you take as part of your story or your narrative, chosen from what you love most right now, your work quite naturally interweaves itself with your surroundings, with your relationships, and even your own feelings. Why does this matter? Because understanding this gives a purpose to every time you pick up your camera. When you have a thing that you want to see, you need to see, you love to see, and a purpose for it all that might be much bigger than what you feel today, which is, I'm just not in a mood, it changes everything. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of an examples, scenario person, so here's a variety pack of ways that having a purpose can work for you. You'll hear artists and photographers, they'll say, what are you working on? Because quite often, this notion of purpose I'm talking about will express itself through specific personal projects. Their answer could be, well, I'm working on a series showing how architecture is an existential expression of despair and hope. Or, I'm focusing on transitions. For instance, the very moment when one reality selection shifts irrevocably into something entirely new or different. Or even how sunrises reboot life itself on the planet. These notions give purpose and shape to the time you devote to shooting. And note that art is very specific, so having something this specific to build your art around is very, very important. Maybe you don't have that formal of a project. Maybe you just know that form and lines calms your mind, and you love finding them in architecture, both in city and out in nature, because there is architecture out in nature, and you like to shoot in a square aspect ratio, since squares just enhance that feeling of calm and peace and balance in your mind. It just feels good to do this. So that's your focus, that's your narrative. Or maybe you like to shoot wild horses, or working dogs, or babies, or snowflakes. It doesn't matter. You choose any of those because of a love, a fascination, how incredible you feel when you look through the lens at these subjects, the way they make you see life, and your bigger purpose. They become windows, if you will, into the ways that you love to move through your life. And these images become part of your story, part of your narrative, and they give you purpose. Or here's another scenario. Maybe you're at the stage where you're just fascinated with how light bounces off the soul of everything, even inanimate objects. And you're all about light, shadow, penumbras. Wow, look at how they define the physical world. And it feels so good and amazing and wonderful to witness that. And you form images around the moments that give you goosebumps. And there it is, your voice. It's part of who you are, woven into everything you say, you do, you touch, and create. The point is, having a purpose in life and in photography changes how you see and how you feel. It takes it from depending upon outer validations, which are capricious and unpredictable at best, to inner ones. These are the ones that matter the most, that ground who you are into a reality built upon who you came here to be. Not on social likes. Okay, Karen, I hear you say, that's cool, I'm with you. Purpose, get one, live it, check. But, I'm just really not all that. I'm just a hobbyist photographer, so whatever. Shut up. That is just crazy talk. That kind of inner mind chatter will make you give up, minimize your vision, act like a hobbyist, when in fact, you wouldn't be here listening to this if you didn't feel a sense of purpose burning inside of you. If you didn't love photography like there's no tomorrow. I know you. Maybe you need a business card. Maybe you need a tagline. Something that every time you look at it and think about it and act from it, it makes you be your bigger self. And isn't that really what we're talking about here? Living your bigger self? Living from purpose? Photographing from that? Okay, mine is photographer, voice, purveyor of awesomeness. Those are the words that make me remember what I'm doing here. And by that I mean according to my own higher purpose and best life. These are the things that resonate for me on the deepest level. I don't have to tell the whole story. These words trigger it for me. They say something about my purpose in the world, yes, but to me, they ground me in my deepest reasons for being. So if you're on the page of kind of going, wow, that's pretty lofty talk, I don't really know if I qualify, or if you're going, oh God, I wish I felt that way, or I feel that way sometimes and then I lose it, well, make a business card and put amazing words on it, but make it more real. Take that next step and start putting that idea out in the world. Which brings me to my final and maybe ultimately defining point about purpose, which is that focusing inward is key, and it's necessary in order to find and align with your purpose. I say it all the time, photographer, know thyself. And this begins with an inward journey. But here's the thing, it can't end there. Each one of us has a gift the world needs. It's about giving back. It's about bringing it for others. So what is yours? How does yours help? What can it add? What reverberation can your narrative, voice, and purpose send out to the world that adds to instead of takes away from? So many takers out there. So many. And you have a gift that only you can give. If you're here, it's probably to do with photography, expression, beauty, art, something. Own it. Make it your purpose. When you have a purpose, it leads you. It shows you the way. It makes you braver than you ever thought you could be. It makes you take smart risks and chances. Ignore idiots. Focus on what's important and let go of about a bazillion distractions that are designed to be just that, to take you off track from becoming the beacon of light you came here to be. We need you. We need you to shine your light. We need you to be on purpose. And I, for one, cannot wait to see what you see from there. Tell the good story in your own voice. Woo to the freaking who. Go get it.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hit subscribe on your podcast app. It would mean a lot for us to have you as our regular listener. Head over to photographyradio.com to drop your suggestion for future editions of Photography Radio or simply to say hello. We would absolutely love to hear from you. In the meantime, have a wonderful night and we will be back with more photography in your ears very soon.